I'm Jen. This is my third year mentoring with Magic, and I'm super excited for Shreya to tell you all about her project that we did, that she did, I should say, that I helped with. Actually, I've only been mentoring Shreya. She'll tell you a little more detail, but since March. So we jumped right in. And one of the first things I remember is it was the first meeting, and I was like, hi, I'm Jen. And she's like, hi, I'm Shreya. And then she was like, you want me to tell you about my project? And I was like, okay, here we go. So it's been a lot of fun to get to know her along the way, but she was super excited, but also focused. Yeah, so that's all. I had a great time. So I will let Shreya take it away.
Okay, I would like to start off with thanking Magic for giving me and all the other girls here such an amazing opportunity of coding and getting interested in the STEM field. I'd also like to thank our mentors for guiding us and making this magical journey a memorable one. Okay. Okay, my initial mentor was Uma Menon, and she specializes in computer graphics and works on many interesting projects in game simulation and virtual reality at Electronic Arts. And she creates educational games and lives in Palo Alto, California. My current mentor is Jen Tannenbaum, and she's a software developer at USAA, United States Automobile Association, and is a web and native iOS developer. In her spare time, she loves to read and play sports, including soccer and volleyball. And she lives in San Antonio, Texas, and flew all the way here just to attend the presentation. So for my magical experience, we discussed my interest to decide on the project, and I just came up with the idea of an app assisting kids with diabetes. So we started off by drawing out the UI, user interface, for how I wanted my app to look and act. We went through, my mentor encouraged me to use Telerik platform for hybrid app development using HTML and JavaScript. And then we went through some Telerik tutorials, and some apps that I programmed through the tutorials included a book library and a photo album. And I got started on coding on the Swift Playgrounds app, and we just played around with it. And I used one of the apps that I programmed through the tutorial as a starting point for my app for Magic. And I stored my code on a GitHub repository. This was my first time coding, and it really was a magical experience. There were a few occasions where I ran into problems, like as simple as I forgot a comma or I put in a space when it wasn't allowed, and I was disheartened. But with my mentor's guidance, I was able to troubleshoot and overcome those challenges. In the process, I started enjoying coding. Magic let me choose my app, which was really nice because that made me even more interested in my project and passionate about it. The one-on-one with my mentors really helped as they went above and beyond to help me in this frustrating but rewarding experience. My app is called Diabetes Pal, and I picked this topic because I volunteered at a type 1 diabetes camp, and I learned all about how the kids had to count their carbs for every meal they ate and calculate how much insulin they should take. So I wanted to make an app that will make it easier to deal with diabetes. I have two functions on my app: carb counting and calculating the insulin for the carbs consumed. The carb counting part of the app shows how many carbs per serving for the typical foods they might eat, and insulin calculator, which calculates the amount of insulin for the amount of carbs consumed. So my app has 5 screens: home, American food, Indian food, insulin calculator, and about. For the American and Indian screens, I show the name of the food, the grams of carbs per serving of the food, and the serving size, and a picture, of course. And I programmed the app to separate the foods into different categories according to their food type. For American food, I separated it into starches, dairy, desserts, meats and fats, and fruits and vegetables. For the Indian food, I separated it into snacks, dairy, desserts, and entrees. So for my insulin calculator part of the app, it calculates the insulin, and to test it, I put in 100 total carbs. And for the insulin to carb ratio, I put 1 dose of insulin for every 10 carbs. And when you press enter, it came up with the answer of 10. And when the user first opens the screen, they go to the home screen, and it just gives a brief introduction about what the app is about and welcomes the user in. And there's also an about screen, which tells about the app. And to tell more about the app, there's a picture of the food and the name of the food, and there's grams of carbs you're serving, and the serving size varies. It could be 4 cherry tomatoes or 1 cup of green beans. Thank you.